Aloha, it's Kiana Cayabyab, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Also, mahalo to Longs Drugs Hawaii for sponsoring this show. Head on over to your neighborhood Longs Drugs for all your shopping needs. A man and his father are suing the Honolulu Police Department for alleged police brutality related to the New Year's Day chase and fatal shootout involving Sydney Taufoki Tau. 25-year-old Tevita Kariente and his father, Vau Kehekehe Mateele, alleged that they knew Taufoki Tau and were nearby the scene of the pursuit. Kariente and Mateele said they heard gunshots and left their apartment near the intersection of Varsity Place and University Avenue to help. The lawsuit alleges that an unmarked white Honda pulled up in front of them and two plainclothes officers exited the vehicle with weapons drawn. A black police van allegedly ran Kariente into a fence. The lawsuit claims 10 to 12 officers began to beat Kariente with their hands and weapons. He allegedly suffered a facial fracture, traumatic eye injury, concussion, knee injuries, cognitive impairment, and vision loss as a result of the incident. HPD declined to comment when asked about the allegations. The Senate has voted to avert a federal shutdown with a stopgap bill that will delay decision on a final budget package until early March. The short-term measure passed on a 77-18 vote. It comes after a bipartisan spending deal between House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, and an agreement to extend current spending to the two chambers have enough time to pass individual spending bills. The temporary measure will run to March 1 for some federal agencies and extend the remainder of government operations to March 8. The House is scheduled to vote on the measure and send it to President Joe Biden today. It would be the third time Congress has extended current spending amid fierce House negotiations over budget levels. Two people were seriously injured after suffering smoke inhalation from a building fire in Liliha today. Honolulu Fire Department firefighters responded to an emergency call at 1438 Liliha Ave at about 5:04 this morning. Honolulu Emergency Medical Services paramedics arrived at the scene at about 5:15 and treated a 59-year-old man and 39-year-old woman for smoke inhalation. The victims were taken to a nearby hospital in serious condition. The blaze was brought under control by 5:22 and extinguished by 5:35. Meanwhile, a 7-year-old boy suffered serious injuries after an apparent firework explosion in Kalihi. EMS responded to a 911 call on Kalena Drive at about 3:30 Wednesday afternoon. Paramedics treated the boy for burns to his middle and upper body and transported him to a hospital in serious condition. The average long-term U.S. mortgage rate has fallen to its lowest level since May. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac said the average rate on a 30-year mortgage dropped to 6.6% from 6.66% last week. The rate averaged a 6.15% a year ago. Borrowing costs on 15-year fixed-rate mortgages also eased this week, dropping the average rate to 5.76% from 5.87% last week. A year ago, it averaged 5.28%, and the 30-year rate remains much higher than just 2 years ago when it was 3.56%. The large gap has limited the number of previously occupied homes on the market by discouraging homeowners who locked in rock-bottom rates from selling. The broad decline in rates since last fall is good news for home buyers because it boosts purchasing power at a time when home prices are still climbing. Hawaii's big surf is dying down after a west-northwest swell peaked this morning. A high surf advisory is still in place for the north shores of Niihau, Kauai, Oahu, Molokai, and Maui, and for the west shores of Kauai, Oahu, Molokai, and Lanai until 6 this evening. The National Weather Service predicts waves between 15 and 20 feet along north shores and 8 to 12 feet along west shores. Surf along east shores will remain small into next week, while surf along south shores will trend down over the next few days. Meanwhile, today's large surf prompted beach closures on the Big Island. A high surf warning was issued for the island's west shores until 6 this evening. Forecasters predict surf between 10 to 14 feet, and Hawaii County closed several beaches, including Kahalu'u Beach Park, Kua Bay in Kona, and the wharf at Makuhona Beach Park in Kohala. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.